So pretty boring information coming out as far as bonds are concerned. We do have, Empire State Manufacturing took a little bit of a dip. The mortgage applications they look to be up a bit. So a lot of people are thinking about loans right now. They're hearing about interest rates, all that trickle down information. It takes forever for the news to really get out, and that by the time you get the data from the media, it's already passed. So there's that. Housing starts are up a little bit. Building permits also up. Durable orders, they're down significantly. Um, you take out transportation, they're up a little bit. So I think something to have to do with transportation, not getting a lot of orders apparently. Industrial production has some sort of up. Capacity utilization is pretty flat. But we did see today as initial claims, the job situation, that dipped quite a bit. So you would have thought that that would help bonds, but it did not. Continuing claims, we actually see that holding fairly steady compared to what it was. I mean, it's still higher than what it was, but not a major movement. So how does that play out to the bonds? Again, like I said, it's boring information right now. We're sitting though. What does make it a little bit exciting is we are sitting still above that level where we pierced above that line where we showed where the peak value was at the time that the bond prices were set from the date they announced quantitative easing. So this value here between these two, if you look at this, is the window between, or at least the window they have from when they announced quantitative easing. So that right there looks like about a 95-point window. Somewhere in that range, 95 points is what we have the play from the day they announced quantitative easing. Now, because they keep talking about it, and there's more and more discussion about the rates are going to come down, we're going to be utilizing capital from Fannie and Freddie. That is what I believe. It's just Aaron Chapman. There's a lot smarter. There's a lot. Oh shit! I moved that. There's a lot more smarter some bitches out there than Aaron Chapman looking at this stuff. But that's what I think is keeping us right here. Not that there's anything in that bond price that would bring traders to think I need to put money into bonds. It's because the conversation that keeps happening about quantitative easing. So the price, because of the quantitative easing conversation, is here because we have Trump and that whole administration keeps talking about it. Now they've actually here announced that they have a means to start quantitative easing. That pushed us here. Now the conversation continues. Other news coming in are keeping us at that point. If for some reason they come out and say we are going to not do quantitative easing whatsoever, I personally believe, again, we're going to go back down in here. The reason I believe that, because that's where we stayed all this other time when we weren't talking about quantitative easing. So we'll see how this all plays out. So what does this mean for you as a real estate investor? What would you do? Do you sit and you wait for it to go up there and get those better interest rates? No, because if it does do that, it punches above that significantly. Now we see interest rates dropping you further and further. Where they're right now, they're pretty freaking sexy. I mean, come on, 30-year fixed, 2-year LLC in the sixes. That's pretty freaking awesome. When I got in my career in 1997, it was late 98 when the interest rates went below 7% just for your average homeowner. They were in the sevens. Then we got to like 6.99, 6.8. My phone blew up. I was able to really, I was actually working 2 jobs at the time. I was driving truck, running heavy equipment, and working in the office, and I was trying to juggle them both. And it was miserable, absolutely miserable. Get up at 3 a.m., work from 4 till noon, work from 2 till 10 every day, sleep 4 hours a night for a year. Sucked. Then it went below 7. Everything exploded. People wanted to refinance. I was able to replace my income, do one job, and I've been in that one job ever since. Now, when you're looking at what we've got going on here, and the fact this is starting to play, this might be people holding back, pent up energy. Okay, when these rates go down, I'll go buy. But that pent up energy, when it finally gets released, that's a lot of buyers going out into the market. That's a lot of people pushing the price of housing through the freaking roof. You will take advantage of that if you own it now. So get it while it's pent up. This is a great time. Sellers are trying to move the property. Buyers are holding back. This is a great time. A really good time. So be ahead of it before that explosion happens. At least that's what it looks like could be happening. There's that pent up energy. Be ahead of it. Get in there. So then when it does blow up and you've got a few, it rockets you up and you get that increase in your portfolio value, basically. So let's let that energy bump your portfolio value up quite a bit. 10, 12, 14% maybe. I don't know. But that's what I have, my recommendation. Let's talk. Reach out to me. info@aaronchapman.com. Best way to set up a time for us to chat and get into deep details on some things. There's a lot more we can talk about. a lot more. How you can take capital you have right now, put that to work in the market and preserve that capital, keep reusing the same capital to expand your holdings. If that doesn't make sense to you, how do you have $100,000 in the bank, go buy real estate, but still have $100,000 in the bank after you have bought a few? That's a really good question. You might want to call me. We'll talk about it. Talk to you later.